And we're back with Legends of Lake Howell. This month we have a special Where Are They Now edition with Kyra, Sinness, and Elijah Brown. Elijah and Kyra, thank you for joining us.
Of course, we're so glad to be here.
Long time.
So it has been a long time. So what year did you graduate?
2021. We were both 2021, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And where did you go to school?
I went to school. I actually left home, so I went to Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island. So.
Yeah, so I went not too far away. I went to the University of Central Florida.
So what did you study?
So I study hotel and resort management. Best major. If you're gonna choose any major to study, choose hospitality. But I study hotel and resort management. And I just recently graduated first in the family with a bachelor's degree. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I got a bachelor's in arts and science in business administration, and then I got certificates in leadership studies and international business.
Oh.
So tell me about the college experience. How was it different from what you experienced in high school, or was it what you expected? Let's talk about that experience.
Yeah, so I think it might be similar for you, but I think like we kind of had the good time where we joined college right at the end of COVID, so things were starting to open up more, and then everybody was like more excited to get out and do things. I had a wonderful college experience. I didn't know if I really had any expectations, but like I loved it. I mean, it was good. It was great. I cannot complain.
I think for me, when I left, I think I was ready to start my career. I was ready to flourish. Everybody knows I was working like 6,000 jobs while I was there. I was going to Lake Howell. And I think once I knew I wanted to be in hospitality, I think I was ready to explore. But I didn't think it was going to be at this level. I always tell freshmen, you get out what you put in. So if you're going to be that kid who just go to school and go to class, it's like you're not going to get much out of college. But if you're that kid who's looking to join a club or get involved, you get like a whole lot. I think studying abroad, I didn't know I would be in Florence for about like 4 or 5 months studying hotel resort management. Then I had a chance to go to Barcelona, then came back. And then in college, you will be required to do an internship, so make sure you make it count. And I ended up going to Dubai to work at the Ritz-Carlton. I didn't believe it. I didn't think I was going to accomplish this much in college, so it was wonderful. I loved it.
You pulled out the whole resume.
Oh, yeah,
You pulled out the whole resume in 4 years.
I didn't need to. It was fun. I had a good time. I just think if I had to do college over again, I think I would. I think college is like, I like to say it's big high school, but on booster cables per se. I think you live on campus now. I think you're trying to figure out who you are, and because you don't know who you really are when you graduate high school, so I think you take that time in college to figure out who you really are, and join clubs, meet new people, make a name for yourself, do projects. So I just really think college just gave me the chance to really wow, hospitality's for me.
Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets. Just what to do.
Yeah. Now, did you have an intern opportunity as well?
Yes, so UCF has a really good program with Lockheed Martin. So I spent the last 2 years as an intern, kind of learning things, joining new teams, learning their way of business. And then upon graduation, they offered me a full-time position. So it was definitely a great transition where I already know everything. I know my role, my responsibilities. So yeah, so far so good with the company. We'll see what happens after that.
Were there any surprises with colleges in terms of going to college and you say, gee, no one told me that this would happen or this was a surprise? Anything about your experience that you were not prepared for?
I don't know. I mean, with the amazing teachers at Lake Howell High School, and amazing principals too. I feel like they definitely prepared us for all different things. I mean, one thing that I really had to work on and realize is that it's really not that deep. Some things nobody is really thinking about you as much as you're thinking about yourself.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah, and it goes both ways.
Network. I think a lot of college students think I have time to kind of skate under the radar, and you don't, because you have to remember everybody's fighting for your spot. So when your colleges are doing those career fairs, you're not only going against the people at your college, but you're going against people all around across the US. So it's one of those things where network, and I think I didn't really know that until I got on campus and professors says, hey, you have the foundation of your studies, but you have to network because your studies can get you so far. So when it comes to a resume, securing that dream internship, if you're that kid who only just did class and didn't go to work and stuff, you may not be considered. So network was a big thing for me. Get out your room, go see things. You're spending a lot of money on college, so make it count. But network study. You know, in high school, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't study in high school. I think Ms. Dobson would attest to it. But at college, you really have to study. I think my school, we didn't have no school on Fridays. So we were a 4-day school week, but it was fast paced. So you know how in high school, a lot of teachers would go on one project and spend like half of the semester on that one project. In college, no, it's like they go over it one day. They might go over it in the next 4 weeks, but that project is still due at 11:59 on Sunday. So you have to study and be on your work, because the harder you fall behind, the harder it is to get caught up in college. And it's just one of those things that you don't really expect, because high school kind of gives you like a little leeway, but college is not, because nobody's chasing you to get yourself together.
The accountability.
Yeah, accountability, yeah.
Now, both of you mentioned that you had great teachers here on this campus. How do you feel that Lake Howell prepared you for college?
I think just being resilient, I think, is the first thing that comes to mind. The relationships, though, I mean, building off what you said in networking, the relationships that we build with other students and other like staff and faculty, it's hard to say, it's hard to like pinpoint it, because I feel like it's just like the general base that like is a really good foundation for us to grow on.
So I guess a better question would be, do you feel that you were prepared for college?
Yeah, but, it's one of those things where like closed mouths don't get fed. So if you want to go to college, like go find that teacher. I had a lot of mentors on campus. I wasn't the best in high school. You know, I was a little kid.
Don't say
yeah,
that.
I was
Don't
all right.
put yourself down, Elijah.
I was
don't
okay.
say that.
She was the president, you know. Like,
Don't say that.
She was my president. But I think for me, for me, I was thinking about colleges, and none of my family members went to college, so like I had teachers like Miss Rhoda, you know, because I wasn't a good test taker. Miss Rhoda kind of pushed me, helped me pass my classes so I could walk the stage. I had Dobson, I had Revis, I had Marcelo, Norton, I had all these other teachers at Lake Howell that gave you different tools of their experience. So one teacher would teach you about resilience. One teacher would say, you need to get yourself together, because nobody's gonna help you get yourself together. Yeah, one teacher was like, hey, take a break. You know, then you have your principals who's like kind of behind the scenes, and it was one of those things where like everybody at Lake Howell gave you like their tools of experience in their own lives to help you be prepared. So I think that's what it was for me.
So what's next for you now that you've graduated from college?
I accepted a full-time job at Times Square. I would be a full-time manager under the Marriott MIT program. I'd be working at Times Square Edition. It sits on Marriott Luxury Brands, which I'm super excited for. 126 rooms, 26 floors, yeah. But if all goes well, July 2026, I'll be back in Dubai. So spend 1 year in the US, and then after that, I'll be out the US, so I'm excited. Yeah.
And Kyra, what's next for you?
Yeah, so I did accept that full-time position with Lockheed Martin in their Orlando facilities. So I'll give it some time, learn some new things. I'm on some really like new up-and-coming teams that were kind of progressing in like the AI field. So very exciting new environment. Give us the time, learn, network, and then decide to get my master's soon. So more schooling. So depending on where in the US or world I get those, then I'll just kind of transfer facilities. But yeah.
Maybe you end up in Dubai as well.
That would actually be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
We'll take over. I'll just let you do the math. I'll be with the guests. You do the math and everything.
Working from home would be great from there. I'll just be like,
there we go. Imagine.
So let's take a moment to talk about your Lake Howell experience. Now, usually anyone that I interview, I ask the same question, and that question is, if you can describe your experience at Lake Howell in one word, what would that one word be?
I have mine.
Yeah, what's your word?
Dobson.
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 Oh,
just
yeah.
Dobson. Dobson as a woman, and Dobson as the idea of Dobson.
Yeah, mine was lit. I don't care what anybody say. I think, because you know, we were involved. I think we just did so many parts and stuff. I had 2 jobs in high school. I did the marching band. Shout out to Mr. Islam, I love you. I did the marching band. I was in SGA. Well, oh my God. I'm trying to figure out what else did I do, but mine was lit. I had a good time. I'm gonna do it again.
So you mentioned some of your extracurricular activities. You were in band? What were some of the other things?
I did
You were
band.
at the bank?
Yeah.
I was at
You
the
were at the
bank.
bank?
Yeah, I was at the bank. I did band, SGA. I had 2 jobs. I was a manager at McDonald's. I did Chick-fil-A. I was the high school mascot for a period of time.
Forgot about that.
You have you this too? I was the high school mascot for a period of time. I forced Mr. Howard to do his drop split at the pep rally. Yeah, he still got it. So if a pep rally, if he don't dance, I told Mr. Howard, he used to be a drum major back in his day. So if you see him at a pep rally, shout drop split, he'll do it. But me and Mr. Howard did our drop splits at the pep rally. Mine was lit. I would do it again. The only thing I would do is like not overwork myself the way that I did in high school. I did not be the number one thing, but other than that, I would do high school again. It's lit. Yeah.
What's your one word?
What did you do while here at Lake Howell?
I feel like if there was like a non-athletic academic club I could do, I was a part of it. So definitely, I mean, leadership took up most of my time. So I was splitting between like the class leadership and SGA and doing all of that. I also worked at the bank, but I started a year after you, so you were like the head manager and all of that. But I'm trying to think, I mean, all like the NHS.
Tennis.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, you did do tennis. Yes, you did do tennis. Yeah.
I was on the varsity tennis team. I got my little letter, and it's not because they only had a couple senior girls. They like really wanted me on the team. So my tennis partner was great, but yeah, mostly leadership. We did a lot. It was a lot. I feel like there was a part of time, and I mean, Dobson and Rebus know all this too, where like I lived here half the time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like from 6:30 a.m. to like 8.
I was 11 o'clock at night because Slava had us out there all night. I was doing it for free too. I was looking for a check. I was like, we out here like, cause we start school, we have our classes, then we have our extracurriculars. Then I went to Slava until about. It was 8 o'clock during the week, 10 or 11 o'clock. If you go do away games, it's like you don't get back until 1 or 2 o'clock. I was like, oh my God.
I think you kept Uber Eats in business.
Yes, we did keep Uber Eats in business.
That was all you. You kept Uber Eats, and no, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. We used to order Uber Eats in Dobson's class all the time because we didn't have time.
Who's we? I don't know about we.
Than me, but I used to buy everybody lunch. I did.
So let's talk about some of the teachers that had an impact. Who were those teachers?
Oh, I have a lot, because it be teachers and principals. Shout out to Mr. Grace, South Seminole. Mr. Grace is old school. Like Mr. Grace, I was knowing him since 7th, 8th grade of South Seminole. Shout out to Mr. Grace, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Norton, Marcelo, Eslava, Dobson, Rivas, Mr. Howard. Dang, they're gonna kill me because Miss Roden, love you. Miss Roden, Miss H. Mr. Slava, that was like my dad of the school. I loved him. He took me in plenty of times. I had a lot. I think everybody played their part of making sure you made it. Miss Story, everybody. I think everybody played their part. So it was every year you had mentors. You know, you have your freshman year mentors. You go to your sophomore year, you get your mentors through there. And then you have your junior and your senior, and everybody just added on to the collection of stuff. And then you can't forget your Dobson. I knew her since freshman year. I knew I was rough around the edges, but we came a long way. We came a long way.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I'll echo that. Mostly I was mostly like the administration. Like you guys were such a help through that, especially with the transition and COVID and everything and like all of those changes. I mean, some of the teachers that aren't even here anymore, Mr. Weddle, Miss Lowe, like especially she helped me pass calculus when we were in quarantine, so that was definitely helpful. But yeah, no, everything.
And Miss Kimball too. Miss Kimball did you got a raise, girl. Miss Kimball did her big one. She all time best guys counselor, all time. I feel like if you got Miss Kimball, you were very blessed because she cared about her kids. Like she was in everybody's lives. She made sure you was okay. She had the resources. She answered her emails. She had an open door policy. Like shout out to Miss Kimball. That was my guys counselor. Yeah.
So if you could go back and give the 9th grade version of yourselves some advice, knowing what you know now based on your experiences in college and high school, what would you tell your 9th grade self?
It's a hard one because I feel like at the same time there's like so many things I would say, but then I'm also like, she'll learn, she'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Ooh, my freshman year self, whatever you do your freshman year will come back and haunt you your senior year. And so, and no, which it sounds bad, but I think my first year of high school, I didn't really take high school seriously because it's your freshman year right from middle school. I think you're still the immaturity level. But a lot of people don't understand when you get to your junior, senior year, and you don't have those credits to be known as a junior or senior, you don't get those privileges. But I caught up though, so I made sure I had my credits when I got there. But when it's time to come for scholarships and when it's time to apply, sometimes that GPA matters. And when you apply for colleges, the higher GPA is, the more money you get. So it's one of those things that's whatever you do your freshman year will affect you the years to come in your high school, like in your senior year in high school. So
Yeah, exactly what you said at the very beginning. Like you get out what you put into it. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's with anything, so.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Don't work too hard. It's okay. You ain't gotta be like Mr. Winter Park all the time. You can just chill out and relax and let
Mr.
somebody else do it.
LHHS.
Yes.
So our last question is, we just had graduation Monday. We've got a new group of Lake Howell graduates that are starting out. Similar to what you did 4 years ago. What advice would you give our new Lake Howell graduates?
New graduates?
Yes.
I would say do everything you can. Join all the clubs, talk to all the people, reconnect with some old people. It's all, what you put into it.
For me, you're limitless if you want to be. And that's like my biggest advice to anybody. You're limitless if you want to be, like Kyra said, and even I said earlier, if you're gonna be that kid who just goes to schools, and if you go to school and party and that's all you do, then when you get to your senior year, you're gonna walk across the stage, have nothing to show for it. But if you wanna be limitless, you can. Network, get involved, find your mentors, keep them close. It's not who you are, it's who you know sometimes. So you're limitless if you want to be, and take mental health days. I think we're like iPhones. When your phone's about to die, what do? You put on the charger. How much more are we as we going 24/7, trying to balance everything? So choose one day out the week to choose your recharge. And they don't always include your friends. Spend time by yourself. Get your life together, because now you'll start seeing the results of when you take care of yourself, everything else will fall in place. So you're limitless if you want to be, and definitely take those mental health days. We got an A on our chest, not an S, and the A stands for average. There's only so much we can do in a day. The S is for Superman, I'm not super, so that's my advice.
And then if you follow his advice in 4 years, you're gonna be back doing this.
Yeah.
There you go. It's full circle.
Well, I think that's a great spot to end. Thank you both for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, yes.